Hey guys, it's JonTaun for Total Brohammer, and today I'm coming at you with the semifinals of Shetland Apache's King's Cup tournament. So I will be playing the Dark Elves, of course, and my opponent will be RomulanDawg as a Skaven. So for my army, I've got 3 Bleak Swords, 4 Blackheart Corsairs, 2 Dread Spears, these guys are for Rat Ogres, which I'm expecting here, 2 Witch Elves, 2 Cold One Knights, also for Rat Ogres and Doom Wheels, both of these guys, a Death Hag, which can tear out off a lot of infantry and get a lot of kills. And also I've got Malekith on Chariot as well. In the back here, I've got one group of Dark Riders, in case he brought any artillery. For my opponent, he's got 4 Skaven Slave Spears on his front line flank. He's got 3 Skaven Slaves in his front line center. He's got 4 Clan Rats on his second line flanks, and 2 Plague Monks in his second line center, as well as 3 Rat Ogres backing them up. He's also got a Doom Wheel on each flank, a Warlord here on the Bone Breaker, and a Plague Priest over here on the Screaming Bell. Alright, so let's kick into gear. So we're just going to be posturing up. First I'm going to move these trees, but I decided that's going to really hurt my micro, so I'm going to try to move out into the open. I mean, he's got about the same, he's got more large than me, so it's probably a bad idea overall. Or, well, actually, we got about the same. No, he's got more than me. In any case, he's just going to advance on me, and we're going to charge to the front line. He was prodding forth with his Doom Wheel, so I was responding with some Witch Elves and some Cold One Knights. Going to send in Malekith over here to get the charge. And this also stops the charge of these Rat Ogres. And these Rat Ogres have insane charge. They can take a group of Blackheart Corsairs down to about half health on the charge. So you can see the Death Hag over here is already starting to tear out these Skaven Slaves, which is pretty good. I'm going to get these Cold One Knights to come over here on this Doom Wheel. And I got these Cold One Knights and these Witch Elves over here chasing this Doom Wheel. But it's really weird with the Witch Elves, because they can get hits on something, but it won't proc the Madness of Cain. And they can even surround a unit, and it can still take like 30 seconds to proc, so it can be very hit or miss. But if I can get these guys bogged down and get these Cold One Knights who have armor piercing and anti-large on them, that'll be very powerful. So he's summoning up a bunch of rats in my back line. I have some Bleak Swords coming over here to deal with them, but he is going to break this front line over here. I also have Malekith just riding through, trying to get as many kills as he can. Really trying to get us around on this Plague Priest so he can't summon any more rat summons, and as well as this Doom Wheel. I see there's a big infantry blob over here that needs to be broken up, so that's where the Death Hag comes in. He is going to send his Warlord after it though. So over here, Malekith is running from this Doom Wheel. The Doom Wheel is actually faster than Malekith, so that is unfortunate for me. My Bleak Swords are doing a pretty good job of taking care of these Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves now that Murderous Process has proc. So, I'm going to be charging into these Plague Monks, and as you see, we got a big mosh pit in the middle here, and the Witch Elves really aren't performing like I want them to, though we are wearing these guys down over time. They do get terrified off by the Doom Wheels. I think Doom Wheels and Death Hags and Chariots in general might be a little bit too powerful in game 2, but that's neither here or there. So I do have these Dark Riders in the back, and they're just hanging out, and I should have had them chasing down routing units, but I do mess it up. He's going to pop a Pestilent Breath right here to try to get rid of these Witch Elves, but it does not work on him. So we still have that mosh pit down here. My Cold One Knights are still trying to take out this Doom Wheel. This Plague Priest is still up, and he does have a Doom Wheel and his Warlord all going after Malekith now. So his Plague Priest finally goes down, but my Cold One Knights do tear out off. Have my Death Hag going around and just tear routing all his infantry. It's working pretty well. So really, we had very similar builds. We were both relying on Chariots, and he was relying on his Rat Ogres, and I was relying on my Cold One Knights to do really good charge damage. And the rest of the infantry basically just to hold. So I think this is a very strong setup for the Skaven, and it's very hard to beat. And you'll see in our subsequent matches, he brings pretty much just a variant of this every time. But now he is force pathing all his units over here onto Malekith, and Malekith is getting a lot of damage done. So I have my Death Hag going around, just routing off any units that come back. And these Cold One Knights are trying to get in here on these targets, but he is mucking them up with Plague Monks. Very well played on his part. Gonna run over here trying to get away from all these guys, trying to use the charge bonus to give me a boost. But he's just force passing everything. And even though this warlord is taunted, he's still going after Malekith over here. So I wonder how that taunt works. Originally I thought it would make it so that they would attack the witch elves, but that's not the case. Because all these taunted units are going after Malekith. So maybe it's whatever unit that they happen to be targeting at the time is what they'll chase. That's probably how it works. Anyway, Malekith is getting beat up here, and there's not really, I don't have any mass now that my gold one notch are gone, so I can't really stop him up. Unfortunately, I should have my Death Hag over here. He could have been really helpful in just terror routing all these guys and helping keep the morale up. But all my guys are going to terror route because of that Doomwell. So, where are my Dark One Riders? My Dark Riders. Where'd they go? Here they are. Okay, they came over here and they chased off a Doomwell. Well, they actually killed it over here. And you'll see these guys are kind of MVPs. So he's basically chasing off all my army, and well, it's over now. But in the spirit of tournaments, you fight to the very end. So I'm gonna get this Death Hag on this Doomwell, really hoping to take it out here. Try to path away. Probably shouldn't have done that. At this point, it's faster than me, so I just have to stand and fight. However, it does rout off, thankfully. And my troops back here are rallying. So thankfully, these rat ogres are actually shattered from the terror. So I'm gonna kind of kite them this way and wait for my army to rally back here. He is, however, faster than me with these warlord and these rat ogres, but my army is indeed rallying. So I'm starting to gather them all up over here. I'm hoping to like kite around and get all the way back here. And he does have a little bit of indecision here. First, he decides he wants to try to finish off my army, but then I'm going to start retreating, seeing that that's coming. And he's going to come back after this guy. Let's see, where are my Dark Riders now? I do have my Dark Riders coming back. So then he's going to turn around again, like I said, and come after my Death Hag. And seeing that this guy is going to catch him, I'm going to send my Dark Riders in on him and try to muck him up. So they're going to come over here and hit these Plague Monks. They should do pretty good damage on the charge. I'm going to hit him real quick and then go after the Warlord, hoping to take him down. So I'm going to turn around and fight, but as you can see, my Death Hag does not stand a chance. Now the Death Hag does have an ability. Let's see what that's called. It is called... not that one. Where is it? Right here. Fury of Cain, which adds plus 26 melee attack, plus 18% charge bonus, and plus 25% weapon damage to a unit. And I'm actually gonna pop that on these Dark Riders, and that's gonna make them pretty good. Let's see what their stats are once I pop that on. So 50 melee attack, 31 weapon strength, and 47 charge bonus. That's pretty good. So I'm gonna disengage over here. And his rat ogre is following me, but I'm gonna run into these rats because I figure the only way I can possibly win is if I get a terror route. So these guys thankfully are still chasing after this guy, and I do actually get a terror route here. That's very good for me. My army is incoming over here, and now I just gotta take out this warlord over here. So basically, I gotta make sure his guys don't come back. So I'm gonna send these Blackheart Crusaders after these guys. I'm gonna send the rest of these guys after this warlord. I'm gonna send the Death Hag to make sure these guys don't come back. Because if I get the Death Hag in combat with this guy, we're gonna lose here. At this point, I probably should have got all my infantry on the warlord, and now that these guys aren't... actually, they're still rampage, no wonder I didn't do that. So these guys are going to come back, but I'm like, well, he's pretty low, and I got infantry support now. Time to go all in. So I'm going to get a pretty good charge over here. He is going to get surrounded, and this guy does have fear and terror. Does he cause fear and terror stuff? He just causes fear, so he is not immune to terror. So I'm going to get these Dark Riders now that their rampage is worn off to go cycle charge these guys into oblivion. And now that he's surrounded, he does need terror route. And the charge on these guys does route them off as well. So a very, very close game. I thought for sure I was going to lose because my line buckled so fast. But let's look at that in-game breakdown here. So Malekith, a beast with 109 kills. Same thing with the Death Hag, 150. As you can see, all my infantry, my Bleak Sword's got a lot of kills. Blackheart Crusaders, I mean, they have good stats and have good armor, but whenever I bring them, they usually don't perform for me. Like, Bleak Swords usually get more kills than them. Maybe it's because they're focused. But that being said, if like a group of Blackheart Corsairs or Bleak Swords or pretty much anything for that matter gets charged by Rat Ogres, they're gonna take their health down just on the charge by 33 to 50%. So Rat Ogres are super strong. And on that note, I also think that monstrous infantry like this, these large unit models, they all got unit model increases, and now they all seem a little bit too good to me. I don't know. That's just a personal opinion, though. These guys did pretty good, but yeah, my Bleak Swords did better than most of them. In fact, yeah, only one Blackheart Corsair did better than one Bleak Sword. So these Witch Elves over here did pretty good. I mean, they were fighting Skaven Slave Spears, and they were very useful in pinning down that Plague Priest in the center there. My Cold One Knights were able to get a lot of damage out on them. So as far as his army goes, his Skaven Slaves were just mucking everything up. Same thing for the most part with his Clan Rats. His Plague Mouse got some pretty good kills, and his Rat Ogres and Doomwills is where all the power is, honestly. As well as his Plague Priest and Warlord. But I was able to wear him down over a long battle, so it was a real close one. So let's go ahead and look at the next battle here. Alright, and so I'm going to bring Malekith. This time I'm going to bring 2 Death Hags. I'm going to bring... This is a more open map, so I'm actually going to bring a Reaper Claw Bolt Thrower in case he brings any artillery, which he does. We got 4 Blackheart Corsairs, 2 Witch Elves, and again 2 Cold One Knights. For his army, he's got basically the same thing. Instead of 3 Rat Ogres, it looks like he's got a Plague Claw Catapult. So yeah, I don't blame him for going with the same thing. I mean, this is just incredibly strong. It's just ridiculous. So the Death Hag did so well last time, I was like, well, let's try 2 of them. So let's go ahead and speed up here as we advance. I'm just going to start taking out his Plague Claw Catapult with my Reaper Bolt Throwers. Pretty much the only thing they're good for. And I'm going to charge into the front line here. So I'm going to charge in these Cold One Knights on these Skaven Slave Spears. I'm not really afraid of them. They have pitiful stats. I'm going to send these Witch Elves directly after this Doomwell, and I'm trying to path these Cold One Knights onto them, but ultimately sending them into these guys may have been a mistake, because unless they route, like right now, I can't get onto this Doomwell. So he's coming through with the Plague Priest in the center here. I do crush the center real quick due to the terror routing of the Death Hag. I also got my other Death Hag over here, but it's surrounded by Rat Ogres and this Warlord, so that's not good for me. Over here, I was able to get my Witch Elves and Cold One Knights on this Doomwell, so that was a really good pick for me. So I got Malekith on a Cold One Knight this time. And I'm just going to have him over here beating up on this Plague Priest, because if he can summon a bunch of rat summons, I'll have absolutely no chance. I'm going to send these Witch Elves to try to chase off this Doomwell. I think it is going to come back over here. I should have got these Cold One Knights too. I am going to pull these guys out, and I think have them come help this Warlord over here, but this pocket right here is just wrecking me. And the Doomwell and the Rat Ogres, because the Rat Ogres are here, it's really hard to path out, because they have such high mass. So this guy is going to go down over here. So at this point, I really don't have much left. He's pretty much destroyed my center pocket here. And the Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves were able to overrun these Dread Spears, even with the Fury Cane on them. I do lose micro on these Blackheart Corsairs. I'll bring them back in a moment. I'm going to have these Cold One Knights come in after his Warlord. But now Malekith is surrounded. And look, just look, this Plague Priest is beating Malekith on foot. So I was not happy about that, to be quite honest. And I was never able to get these Cold One Knights out of this combat. So sending them against those Skaven Slaves was a really big mistake. And the whole thing about this build is just have a bunch of Skaven Slaves just to muck everything up. You can't move, you can't get away from anything. And for some reason these Witch Elves did lose aggro on this Doomwell. That happens a lot in this game. You'll have an order on a unit and they'll just stop chasing them for some reason. What can you do? Hopefully CA fixes it soon. But yeah, at this point his I wasn't able to do enough damage to his Doomwell and Chariots here, as well as his Rat Ogre, so it's all over for me, boys. Let's go ahead and speed up here. I'm gonna have my Reaper Bolt Thrower shooting at this Doomwell, and I think we do take one Doomwell out, but now Malekith is just being circle beaten. And yeah, it's a really strong build, guys. Alright, so let's go to the in-battle screen. So Malekith didn't do great that time. This Death Hag did good. This Death Hag got surrounded. The Doom Wheel was able to tear route off all its support, and then Rat Ogres and Warlord were just there and destroyed it. Blackheart Corsairs did pretty okay this time, gotta say. Witch Elves did okay. I mean, everyone got a lot of kills, but when most of it's Skaven Slaves, I mean, look, 15 kills on a unit that's 125, that's really good value. And I was really disappointed in Malekith on the cold one. He was unable to even put a lot of damage on this Plague Priest, so that was really disappointing. But let's move on to the third game here, guys. Alright, so for my army, I decided to go with an all-infantry build, and my idea here was hold him up with infantry, and then just shoot all his high-value targets with Dark Shards, and get the Witch Elves in there as well to hold up all his chariots and Rat Ogres, and yeah, let's see how it goes. So he's got pretty much the same, yeah, he's got exactly the same army he brought the first time. Okay, never mind. No, he doesn't. So he's got 2 Doom Wheels still, he's got a bunch of Skaven Slaves still. Looks like he's only got 1 Plague Monk. And still got the Plague Priest. It looks like he actually got an Assassin this time. So that's pretty good. And it looks like he traded a Plague Monk for an Assassin. Makes sense to me. Alright, so I brought Malekith again on a cold one. And honestly, before the match I was thinking I should go double dragons this match. And in hindsight I probably should have, because he actually did not bring any. I thought if I brought him, he'll just have Warp Lightning Cannons and just destroy him. But he actually didn't bring any. And he didn't bring any because last match I brought a Reaper Bolt Thrower that was just able to destroy it. So look how much damage these guys do. Actually, that wasn't that much, huh? Making me eat my words there. So I have these Witch Elves trying to get on this Doom Wheel, but as you do, he just cycles them through. And even though he does come back into these guys, the Witch Elves are now aggroed on these guys. I am going to have them come back over here, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get a hit on it. And yeah, my plan doesn't work, guys. The Doom Wheels just destroy everything. The Doom Wheel and Rat Ogre charges just break through everything so hard. And the Witch Elves, for some reason, have a really hard time getting Madness and Kane on these guys. So yeah, we'll go ahead and speed it up. It's just a massacre at this point. Infantry just stand no chance against Doom Wheels. Like I said, I think these single entity chariots, especially, and just chariots in general, are a little bit too powerful, as well as monstrous infantry. That model increase really made a huge difference. So I chased all these guys off, overextended over here. We got Malekith getting circle beaten again by Rat Ogres and the Warlord. Keep on trying to get Dark Shards up, but every time I do, he either summons rats on him or sends a Doom Wheel after him. I am able to get this Warlord off, though. Gonna drop a Soul Stealer right here, but Malekith, with support of the Rats and Rat Ogres, doesn't have a chance against this Doom. And these Dark Shards just can't do enough damage to the Doom Wheel to take it down fast. Alright, let's see. The Doom Wheel actually doesn't have any missile resistance, so I'm surprised at how little damage these guys do over the course of the battle. But yeah, my infantry corps falls apart so quick. And I don't have good units like Rat Ogres or Doom Wheels to support, so yeah. Don't go infantry heavy when you think your enemy is going to bring Doom Wheels. I don't know what I was thinking here. I really should have gone with the double dragons. But he's popping the Rival High Talisman over here, so all these guys have like 0 melee attack. Yeah, everyone who enters the circle is going to have 0 melee attack. So when you have 0 melee attack, that gives you the minimum amount of chance to hit as possible, which is 10%. I have a bunch of guys rallying back here, and I'm bringing them all back in. But Malekith is going down, and it's pretty much over. So yeah, I was kind of disappointed at just how well this one build can do against pretty much any army. In the first game, I think I really got lucky. But yeah, my whole army does rout there. Alright, so let's look at that in-battle screen. Dread Spear's got a lot of kills, but yeah, look at these guys. Basically, there was no reason to bring them. The Doom Wheel and Rat Ogre combo just watched over them so hard. One of my Witch Elves did good. One of my Black Arc Corsairs did good. My front line broke so fast the Dark Shards just got run over. So yeah, it was a bad plan. I was really tired at this point, honestly, but did not work. Alright guys, well that's gonna be all for this one. That did knock me out of the tournament, and I did come in 5th place, so not terrible, not great. But yeah, see you all next time. This is JonTaun for Total Brohammer, signing out.